So let's say we have a problem like this. They're saying that there's a system and it absorbs 10 joules, so amount of heat, and it does 15 joules, another amount of heat, but it does 15 joules of work, so this is an important word, work on the surroundings, and we have to calculate this thing called delta E. So we're going to learn about the first law of thermodynamics. So there's three things I want you to know basically. The first law of thermodynamics says that delta H, basically delta H, what that is just delta is change and E is energy. So change in energy is equal to Q plus W. Q is just heat, and in this case absorbs 10 heat, this is our heat, and W is work. It does 15 joules of work. So basically we're going to use this equation to solve this problem. But before you say 10 plus 15 is equal to 25, and then say delta E is 25, there's one more piece of information that we have to consider. We have to consider what is a system and what is surroundings. So we have a system here. So let's say I have this circle. So this entire circle, let's just call it the universe. This is the entire universe. And then let's say we have a smaller circle, and we're going to call this our system. So what a system is basically, it's just one thing we are focusing on. This marker is a system because it's one specific thing, right? And another example is like a reaction. That is a system. So basically, a system is one thing we are focusing on. A system can be the entire universe also. But then, okay, so we have a system. It's just one thing we're focusing on. And then we have another thing that's called surroundings. Surroundings. And surroundings are everything but the system. So if my system is the marker, everything in the universe except this marker is the surroundings, okay? And then there's also this last idea is that when the system is doing work, okay, just basically remember this. Gain is plus, loss is minus. How can you remember this thing? Well, when you gain money, right, you're happy, you're positive. Or when you gain pretty much most positive things, you're positive. And when you lose something, you're negative, you're sad. So whenever the system is doing, basically whenever the system is like gaining work, then it's positive. And whenever the system is doing work, then it's negative. Basically you're gaining, you're positive, and you're losing or you're doing, then it's negative. Now, let's reconsider how we do this problem. Okay, so let's plug in the information that we get, kind of use the equation to solve it, okay? So let's go over here and calculate delta E. Okay, so we have a Q, and Q is just going to be our 10 joules, so we're just going to put that in there. And then we're going to add the work. How do we know what is work in a problem? But work is just going to be the thing, where it says does 15 joules of work. But we have to consider this guy. It's saying that if it's doing, right, if it does on the surroundings, right, if it's doing work on the surroundings, if it's doing it like on the surroundings, like it's doing it, then it's going to become negative because it's losing, right? So therefore 15 joules is going to be negative. So then it's 15 plus negative 10 plus negative 15, which gives us negative 5. So this is our answer. And just to make sure we understand this concept, let's say it says it gains. What if we say it gains? Like it gains 15 work. It gains 15 joules, right? It gains 15 joules. That means that it would go in like this. It goes to the system, and if it goes to the system, you're gaining and you're positive, so that would be a positive 15. So that's how we use the first law of thermodynamics, which is this equation right here. E equals Q plus W to solve word problems.